All right, let's get it. Welcome to the Internet Undefeated podcast because we all know the internet never loses with your triple host team, the airhead commentator, Matic 730, and you're truly speaking right now, Clutch Phil. And we got
What
another
up?
set
What
of
up?
hot takes coming up for you guys via 730 radio.
Yes, sir. On YouTube, you can find.
We got two blockbuster teams, great franchises benefiting from a big triple team trade right now. Who are we talking about? Cleveland, of course. Cleveland Cavaliers still adjusting beautifully with their new acquisitions of Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr. and Rodney Hood. Can't leave out the tall, mean, jump shot making swingman. Not to mention LA looking not too shabby on the other side with Isaiah Thomas and so, that draft pick to go along with some cap space freed up for him, right?
We got we have Isaiah Thomas and airhead commentator. Who do we got? Channing
Channing.
Frye. And then
Channing
I think you
Frye.
left out George Hill.
Oh, I completely left out George Hill, the
Can't
fourth
forget about
player.
him.
Word. He's gonna be so vital to, as we can already
He's
see,
he's
with
solid.
Cleveland's success. And that's what we want to break into here, guys. How well is Cleveland benefiting off the trade, and who won the trade?
Wonderfully.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with. I feel like George Hill is gonna provide LeBron a big break from having to handle the ball a lot. I see him a lot of the time just handing him the ball. Letting him do his thing. He's not a ball hog. He only takes
Selfless.
a shot when he's open. Then we have Jordan Clarkson and Rodney Hood, who could both create their own shot while LeBron's taking a break. And, I think these guys are hungry. Larry Nance Jr., he's just another Tristan Thompson, but just more athletic. And what do you guys
Yeah,
think?
you're right. Dead on the money. We got a lot of different feedback. I've felt from a lot of people in the basketball world since this trade has happened. A lot of people think that they're a bunch of random role players. How could they be that much better? A lot of people think that they're the perfect pieces and they're gonna gel together perfectly. I think we've seen a bit more example of that right away. And honestly, on paper, it sounds like a match made in heaven. We've seen LeBron put together a whole new cast overnight, go to first place in the Eastern Conference, come out the Eastern Conference via Miami not that many years ago, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like he's about to do it again with a brand new. 10 people on the roster are now different, and the team looks like they've been together for 10 years. It's amazing the
And
chemistry these
if
guys
if he,
showing off the gate.
if he really makes this happen, all the haters just got to give it to him this time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what do we mean make it happen? Come out the
Well,
East?
If he comes out
uh,
the East
hmm
and if he gives up a fight or if he wins a championship.
well, listen, I think with their newly created team, they're more than capable of winning it for the East. Looking at how the Celtics have been playing lately, they haven't really been playing that much. Kyrie looks tired. I don't know. It looks like a different Celtics team to me, however. Um,
Kyrie
don't
does look
discredit
tired.
Kyrie. Don't discredit Kyrie because he could definitely ramp up at that time and really
I,
show up.
that's it.
Um,
That's what it's about.
yep. But again, if you watch the first game of the newly created Cavaliers team with everyone playing first game back together as playing against the Celtics, I've never seen LeBron so happy in my life. Smiling from ear to ear. They were meshing perfectly. It looked like they were playing for years. The energy was
Mm-hmm.
live. The athleticism was there. They weren't tired. The threes that were coming out from all over the place. Larry Nance coming down the
Word.
middle and dunking. It was one of the best Cavalier games that I've seen in a while. And I
And
think
you
that's
got to give
exactly
them
what.
credit. They didn't even have a game plan going in that game. They just told Clarkson and all the young guys there's no such thing as mistakes. And, we'll adjust to what you guys do out there.
Exactly.
That's
I
that's
think
beautiful teamwork.
it is. And I think that that's what LeBron needs because you can't expect LeBron to play 45 minutes, you know, uh, the whole 45 minutes is impossible, I feel. He's going to get tired. He needs help.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And he's the type of player that he likes to build a team that of everybody rising up to the task together. We talk a lot about these do too much types, or not even too much, just take control, game takeover types like Kobe, AI. Today we would call like a James Harden, maybe a Westbrook or a Stephen Curry. We would call these types to try to take over the game. Smaller players doing that. Whereas LeBron, even though he's a bigger athletic freak of nature, he knows that it's team winning basketball. I think he's always known to play the right way. That's why he's always been such a gifted passer and led by example that way with the court. Like, he never just makes the selfish play. If anything, we always accuse LeBron of overpassing, especially
Hmm.
late in game in times where a lot of people early in his career felt like he should take over. So this is perfect for him.
This
A
this
bunch of
goes
people
perfect
that
with his game.
do their job extremely well, man. But the thing is, Airhead Commentator made a great point about them coming out the East and why we think so. If I had to put my money down right now with the way they played the first two games, I want to say yes. But before we let too much time run off, I feel like it's crazy to say that Toronto, who's won 7 in a row, should be completely ignored. Even though, how many years are they going to continue to fold in the playoffs? I mean, eventually they got to come through and finish it. Not to mention they took LeBron to 6 and 7 games or something like that already. So,
Mm-hmm.
they're playing at another higher level. And then we talk about hungry youth. What Nothing this year screams hungry youth more than Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown. I mean, I could go
Marcus
on.
Smart,
Marcus Smart
However,
is not in that game that we
Gordon
just saw.
Hayward,
Gordon
however,
Hayward
they
was not in
have
that game.
been
Shane Larkin.
However, they have been these sports commentators, Stephen A. Smith and Skip. They have been talking negatively about Jason Tatum, how he's in a slump, how he looks tired, how he's not
Well,
he's not
they say
shining
he hit the
anymore.
rookie wall. Yep, they call it that rookie wall, where even if you're an exploding new player, at some point in the season, teams start to adjust for you. They set their scouting reports and they start, you adjust to the real level adjustments now that's happening in the NBA, and it forces you to stay more creative. I think Jason Tatum was in such a high rhythm before that he's expecting himself to make the most difficult type of plays, and he's not playing easy fundamental basketball. The Boston's whole ball movement and explosion with their first step of keeping the defense on their heels has been lacking as of late, which we clearly saw against Cleveland. I don't think that's a team anybody should put their money on expecting come playoffs. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Exactly. Because the past couple games, their identity wasn't even there. They're supposed to be the best defensive team, but they didn't look
Yeah.
like it.
And LeBron
But
put
then
up
again,
120.
yes, but then again, LeBron hasn't been. So we cannot definitely count Kyrie out. We can't.
Thank
You
you.
can have a couple of bad games. You can have a
MVP.
couple of bad games, and you can have a
If
couple
they
of good
get Gordon
games.
Hayward
But
back,
MVP.
Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is a big part of their second unit.
Yes, huge first and second, man.
He's a
Sometimes
dog.
they
He's
start
a
and they
dog.
finish with him. You know what I mean? Because his experience and how much different things he brings to the table, he fills every stat. I love that guy, even though he's the worst flopper in NBA history.
He's a dog.
So on the other side of the trade here, let's not forget about the Lakers. I know LA fandom, they Lakerland, they want us to get to Isaiah Thomas and his coming out party as we head into All Star break. Do you think he's going to be better for the team going forward?
I do. I think he's more happy there. The first game that he played with the Lakers, he dropped 22 points. He looked like he was in his zone. He looked like he was happy. He was passing. He was making plays. I think it's going to be a good thing. At first, I wasn't. I thought that maybe it would be a bad thing because he has an attitude. But you know what? I think that once a change of environment happens and you're motivated and you're happy, things can
Well,
change a lot.
you're talking about for his perspective, but unfortunately, they lost both those games since he's
They
come
did.
back,
You're
But
and
right.
they
yesterday he
were
was out the first minute of the game,
He
so
got
that
yep,
one
ejected.
don't count.
He got
yeah, yeah,
ejected.
We'll see tonight.
exactly. He got ejected though. I mean, this
And it
is
But
wasn't
was
even
it
more
his
of
really
what.
fault
his
though.
fault?
It
Was it
wasn't his
really his
fault.
fault? It was
I
not. I
mean,
saw the video. Rajon Rondo, to me, he has an attitude too. I always think he has an attitude, Rondo. And
yeah,
from
chip on
what
his
it
shoulder for
was,
sure.
exactly, and from what it was, after the game happened and they interviewed Isaiah Thomas, he said he brought up the whole, you know, uh, dedication or country, whatever that is, video that the
Yeah, the
Celtics were going to do
ceremony.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, I don't know why he brought that up when I was the one who declined doing it and stuff like that. So there's definitely,
They're jealous.
yeah, I feel, I don't know. Did Rondo
Mm.
ever get one of
So,
those?
No,
So,
maybe.
I thought the Celtics just did recently a whole
Paul
like
Pierce.
oh, that was no, not for Pierce. I'm talking about before that, before the Pierce retirement thing. I heard either early this season or late last season about the Celtics did some anniversary commemoration for the team that won the chip. I thought all of them. It was a big story that who wasn't invited? I think Ray Allen
Yeah,
wasn't
he wasn't
invited.
invited,
That's
and
true. You're right.
he didn't show up to the jersey ceremony the other day. He was golfing with
Exactly.
But
So
why
what's
would
his
there's a
you want to
name?
lot
go
of
somewhere where you got played anyway? So can you really blame him?
Nah, they
they
didn't
didn't
want him
invite
there.
him. But whose fault is that? A lot of people blame Ray Allen for going to the Trader team. What do we think
Really?
about loyalty?
Really? So, I mean, look at Kevin Durant's situation, coming from OKC, going to the Warriors, and he's
Th-
a
this is what I
Warriors
mean. Did you
sweetheart.
think did when you first heard the news of KD, did you guys say that he was right in going to the team that he could have beat?
Okay,
I
this
was
is the thing.
happy. I
I
was
was happy
happy. I
too
fuck
because
with the Warriors.
yes, and the way that Kevin Durant came out and said it, he came out very humbly and said, I'm flattered that a great team wants me to be a part of their team. He didn't make it seem to me like I want to be on their team because, it's a great team. He was more flattered that they even approached him to come onto a team like that. So,
I mean,
yes, I was happy for him.
I mean, I fully believe in his decision to make, his right to make his own decision. And as basketball, the business never thinks about the player when they dump and trade and cut and send people home and don't even give you a shot, or these 10-day contracts, that they give people sometimes and send you to the D League or G League, whatever it is now. So,
Yeah,
I fully believe in players taking advantage when they can, because the league is not going to think about you, these owners and whatnot. But so I respect his right, but at the same time, there's always going to be a part of me as a '90s man, the culture and the fan of the sport. I was sad a little bit inside, just because, not to sound like OD emotional, but for the game, the competition level, you just destroyed another powerhouse, and part of me always wanted to see
absolutely.
what could have happened if Harden, Westbrook, and Katie had actually stayed together, and ego and money and
But
contracts
what,
didn't
but for
get in the
how
way.
long? But for how long do you decide? How long do you stay on a
Hey,
team
I
that's
I don't
not going
blame
to
him for leaving
win?
Westbrook. Well, they were up. Listen, do you think that team couldn't win a chip? They went to the finals already
Of course
together,
they could have.
They went to the finals and they were beat by LeBron. That was the first year
and
that they went to the finals, right? They were
and
beat
yep,
by, or were they beat by
they
Dallas?
no, they
Was it
they LeBron ended up in the finals because Eastern
okay?
Conference,
And they were
and
crying and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
exactly. But
but
you
I'm
went
just,
to the finals. See, we don't. A lot
but
of
that
people
was
on the LeBron side are cheering because LeBron went to 8 finals. They don't care that he's 3-5.
Listen, but I don't know. It's just the same with Anthony Davis. You have these good players who can really make shots and really make things happen, and their stats are so high up there. But they're on a team that they're never really. Can you really see Anthony Davis winning a title on the team that he's on, knowing how
Um,
good he
I
is?
when before Demarcus Cousins tore his ACL, I was making the case that nobody in the Western Conference wants to play them the first round. Nobody.
You're right. You're right. This dude's a freak in nature. They could both score 50.
Both on this at the same time practically, and they'll get every rebound and 10 blocks each while they're doing it. So
And
I
you're
don't want to.
tired when it comes to the playoffs. You feel me?
Listen,
Yeah,
you
I don't want
can't
to.
be an all
Why would
star.
you want to deal with these freaks in nature?
You
I
you
don't
just
want
can't.
to.
There's just got to be a point where you say to yourself, how long do I have to stay on this team before I could finally win something? Some people are comfortable doing that, some people aren't. Look at Carmelo. He's never won a title, and he's been playing forever on all these different teams, and I'm hoping one day before he retires he does win a ring. But
See, this
the
is what
question
happens
is,
when we
how
create a
long?
culture. This is what happens when we create a culture where we literally don't care about your career if you're not in the finals winning them. That is
That's
absurd.
horrible.
75, 85%, 90% of players are never going to smell a finals. And yet we want to go out here and try to say that Charles Barkley and John Stockton, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, their NBA contribution does not matter. Allen Iverson, contribution doesn't matter. You know, all these people that just never got the chip done, Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, these are legends. These are top 50 all-time players. It doesn't matter that they didn't have, finals to go along with it. These guys don't even know how many, MVPs. Tracy McGrady scored 31 for a year. He led the NBA in scoring, more than, I think, almost on a second occasion, but his back started to get in the way, man. Everybody's story is just different. And
Right.
they forced Durant to now evaluate, I think that the good team feeling played a part in it because he was coming from a place where there wasn't that good genuine feeling, and ego and agenda always played a part. But I can't believe that, no one could believe that he didn't go there with the easy winning in mind as well.
I mean, whenever someone makes a
True.
decision, don't you think that the decision is, if I do go to this team, I'm probably going to have a better chance of winning a title? No one's ever going to go to a team and say, I have no chance. I'm just going to go to this team and have no chance. Just like LeBron, when he had the decision of either going to New York or taking his talents to Miami, he
That's
took his talents to
that's
Miami and
I
won
disagree.
titles.
Because James
Okay.
Harden broke up the Thunder because he wanted to be the man, and Kyrie just broke up a championship team because he wanted to be the man. So we see
Yep.
examples every couple of years, whether it's for money or it's for pride. We see players still
Kobe
have
and
the
Shaq.
culture that
But
I talk
listen,
about.
can you blame James Harden? He was coming off the bench. Would you rather come off the bench or come off on the starting lineup?
But what
And
if you were
and
starting
James
and
Harden is a
everything was
good
good?
player. James Harden is a good player. And Kyrie was tired. First of all, if you watched last year's finals coverage, everyone was comparing LeBron to Kyrie. Who wants that? Kyrie is a player in his own right, and the talents that he has should not be compared to LeBron. And can you blame him for leaving? So I disagree when you say he broke up a championship team. Yes, he may have left a
Ultimately,
championship team,
winning is what we're here for. It's what we teach the children matters most in basketball,
Okay,
right or
but
but
wrong.
Phil,
that
what
should
if
not be it.
Phil? What about the part that what about the part?
Teamwork
And you
for the
could do the
ultimate goal.
research. What about the part where Kyrie said that he knew they had him in a trade talks for Eric Bledsoe?
Man, like I said, you can't knock the player for exercising their right. I If a lot of people don't see any fault in what Kobe Bryant did. He wanted to be the man. He broke up a dynasty. He wanted Phil Jackson and Shaq out. These are known facts. Phil Jackson wrote about it. Shaq spoke about it. And
Hold
I
up.
think,
Hold up. I don't care about no Phil Jackson. Next.
listen, Shaquille O'Neal, the person that you're getting the trenches with, riding in the
Did you
trenches, getting
see what
championships
Phil
with.
Jackson did to the Knicks team? And you're talking about Kobe Bryant. Boy, bye. Look what
Listen,
he
this was
did to
10
the
years
Knicks
later.
team. And
That's
so
10
he held a
years.
grudge. So he held a grudge from what Kobe did to him onto a whole other team.
No, I'm not saying. I think those things are unrelated. I think Phil
I don't.
Jackson's a trash GM. He's a
He's.
trash. He should
I don't
never be a
ever.
GM. He's
I
an
don't ever.
amazing coach. And Kobe didn't want him to be there because he wanted the spotlight. He wanted the credit. He wanted the. It was all about pride. That's why he wanted Shaq and Phil out. And I think that's crimes. How many championships should we have seen the Lakers actually win
10
together?
championships if they stood
If
together.
they all, bought in and kept winning and working together. So, I'm a fan of the game first, and that's what fell in love. I fell in love with the game, and then I realized I love a team, but outside of that, like all these guys, we will be LaMelo balling it, basket hanging for stats because everybody says Westbrook triple double that he cheated his way to. Don't argue with me. The comments, people in the comments right now talking about Westbrook earned that. Look up his teammates running away from the rebounds. Look at the centers and power forwards literally running away from the rebounds.
So what do you
Look at the
think that he
footage.
tells them?
He tells them
Listen,
that if
when
it comes
Durant
near them,
left,
to
exactly.
screen somebody else for
When
him.
Durant left, it was only Westbrook and Adams communicating and making plays, and of course he's gonna feed him the ball. Come on, come on. Westbrook may have gotten the best record for triple doubles last year or whatever after Durant left, but trust me, it was because
I,
Durant wasn't on the team that happened. Because if Durant was on the team, it wouldn't have happened. If Durant gets the ball, that's the problem with them too. They each wanted the ball and they didn't want to share it.
KD had no problem sharing with Westbrook. Westbrook was a poor teammate, and he didn't know how to go with the hot hand and play the right way. He would try to do too much at several times. I think everybody listen. There's a notion that Paul Pierce and Carmelo are trying to disprove because they were both having lesser numbers, and it was continuing the narrative that nobody can or wants to enjoy playing with Russell Westbrook. Thank God,
That's a
Paul
fact.
George is having a resurgence in his numbers now, and even I think even Carmelo is playing better as of late. So to make Westbrook not look so bad, because if you have two superstars that can't thrive with you, man, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean?
Well, sources
But
are saying that Paul George committed to re-signing with OKC, so we'll see how that plays out.
yeah, that's a commitment, man. I love how players flip flop on these mid-season commitments. This shit is mad funny. But taking it back here, power rankings. We talked about Cleveland and where they stand with the trade. We talked about LA. What is your top three strongest teams, either conference, top three strongest teams in the NBA right now that you don't think anybody wants to play in the finals, in the playoffs? Matic.
What's the team that nobody wants to face in the playoffs?
Top three.
Yeah, start with your number one.
The top three teams that no one wants to see in the playoffs. That's the question.
No, no, no. The
Yeah,
top three that no one wants to see, meaning they don't want to play against. There's going to be a tough challenge for them.
exactly.
Okay. Like the underdogs or
No, no, no. Your
No.
power rankings, top three teams. Who would be one, two, and three in your power rankings, NBA?
right now I think the Rockets are at number one. Power
Oh,
I do not agree with that at all, but I'm listening.
tough to
Rockets number
argue.
one.
Keep going. We'll get our turns.
Warriors at number two,
Mm-hmm.
and then I gotta go with the Celtics at number three.
Ooh, okay. You heard it, folks. Maddox's top three NBA power rankings. Who don't want to see in the playoffs? Eric, commentator, it's on you.
Definitely the Cavs with the addition of Larry Nance and uh,
You have them at number three in your rankings, or
I have them at number two. I have them at number two. Number one, see, it's hard because I don't think the Warriors are doing that well. I don't think they're doing that well to even be in any of my top three. I'm a fan. They're my team, but I don't think that they should be part of my top three. So I'm gonna go with what
and that's
everyone is
because of
saying.
their recent losses, right? Even though they're second in the West.
Yes, because things can. I've seen Durant with bad days. I've seen Curry with bad days. So no, I'm not
Okay,
going to
so
put them
they're
in my
not
top three.
consistent enough to be in your
But
top
if
three.
we're
Oh,
talking, but if we're talking about of your number one, obviously for the West, I don't know, but Toronto's one of them, top three. If you're saying that they're the best in the East, and they're definitely going to have a challenge with the Cavaliers, so maybe
okay. So,
Toronto, the
huh.
Cavs, and um, I don't know.
Who's gonna make it in that third slot? Really a
It's
tough
tough.
power rankings to do. I'm not gonna,
We got the
beat
Cavs,
around the
the
bush here.
Thunder,
Nope, Thunder.
Warriors,
No.
Spurs.
Nope, to Spurs.
You don't
We
think the
blew
All
them
Thunder are
right.
out.
gonna?
Well, let me
Um,
tell you here the top three on either side. Toronto has won 7 in a row. They're number one. Boston has lost 3 in a row. They're number two. And Cleveland won 4 in a row, and they're number three. And then in the West, we have the Rockets who won 10 in a row. Jesus Christ. Then we have the Warriors, only amazingly a half game behind a team that won 10 in a row. So that tells you something about them. They're number two. They lost the last game. And then San Antonio is number three, and they've lost their last 3 games. So
I mean,
that's
you
the
can't
top
really.
six
Yeah,
stat wise.
Popovich, pop for president. Pop for president. But I don't know if the Spurs are going to win a title this year.
Yeah, it's hard to ever, if there's a coach I don't want to play, it's Greg Popovich. He's a wizard with the X's and O's. But I think if I have to say my top three, I'm not a prisoner of the moment, and if I have to add in the whole season, start to finish, right now, I want to give both the spots to the top spot to both Houston and Boston. But since I can't and I have to pick one, I'm always a defensive minded guy, and I believe that Boston is the toughest team in the NBA right now. It doesn't look like that with the eye test, recently. But if you rewind 2 weeks ago, nobody could really make an argument for Boston not being number one, in the playoffs. They were number one in actuality, and they beat all the best teams.
And
They
I
beat
get
all
that
the
you
best teams.
say, but yes, but that was before the trade deadline.
Yes, now there is a new, the NBA is
So I
reshaping
get
itself
that you don't,
dramatically.
yes. So I get that you don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. However, they got blown out by the Cavaliers. Blown. They were
Listen,
picked apart. They were picked
they and
apart.
they did not look like themselves. We all
No.
agree that's not their regular foot. And I heard the numbers on Cleveland shooting that game. I should bring those up because they were
Ugh,
ungodly. Okay,
I will bring them up
Cleveland
right now. I will
Cleveland
bring them up right
shot
now.
like the Warriors did. That's what I don't think people understand. That you can't expect them to shoot 70. Let me tell you real quick here. And to finish out my top three. So Rockets are number 2 in my power rankings, and as much as I hate to do this right now, as of today, right now, um, the Warriors are number 3 in my power ranking, knocking Cleveland out of the top 3 because it obviously should be Cleveland in that third spot. But they're not even in my top 3 power rankings. And if I look a little deeper, I think that we're all violating Toronto. Well, Airhead Commentator had Toronto in her top 3, but that's definitely a team to keep an eye on.
Okay, let me just go over these stats really quick for you guys and why I picked the Cavaliers. And I don't feel it's a prisoner of the moment. I feel that this is a new, re-energized, newly created team that I feel is going to be a problem in the playoffs. You had LeBron James, who is when he's excited and he's in his element, there is unlimited numbers that he could score. 24
Mm-hmm.
points. 24 points. You have a rookie who I have never even seen before, Osman, 12 points. You have Tristan Thompson with
Osman is.
6. Come on, Tristan. I expect more from you.
Did you
You
know?
have
Did you know?
Hill.
Did you know that
Hill.
Osman was a pro in Turkey since he was 14?
Well, welcome to America, brother. We
Hidden
have
stat of the
Tristan.
night.
We
Looking
have
at it.
Tristan Thompson with 6 points. We have Hill with 12. J.R. Smith with 15 points. And that's just the starting lineup. Look at
And this
this.
is what
Look
I'm
at this
trying to tell
bench.
you.
Look at this bench. You have Nance with 5, Green with 10, Clarkson, Jordan Clarkson with 17 points, and Hood with 15 just off the bench.
Listen, they weren't
Damn.
missing. They shot 54% from the field, and they shot 53% from downtown. Do you realize that would shatter
Against the
everyone's
best
numbers
defensive
in the?
team, right?
The only
Yes.
team, and then for the Cavaliers, Rozier, give it to Rozier with 21. Irving only had 18 points, which
Oh, you said
only
for the
shouldn't be
Cavaliers, you
a
mean the
word.
Celtics, right?
I'm
No,
sorry, yes, for the
They sat him
Celtics.
down though. They sat him down. It was a blowout.
He played 34. He played 34 minutes, brother. 34 minutes. Kyrie Irving only played 26. So if you're looking at these numbers, it's really not that bad playing 26 minutes and
Well,
scoring 18 or
so
playing 34 minutes and
Airhead,
scoring
let
21.
me ask you a real
Mhm.
question. They shot 54% from the field, 53% from downtown, which would by
Mhm.
far lead the NBA. It's better than Golden State. It's better than Houston. Do you think that team is a better 3-point and overall shooting team? You think they can sustain this against
Who?
anybody in a playoff series? The Cavaliers. You think that
Have you
53% shooting from the field and
have you
53% from
seen
downtown?
Let me tell you something. Jordan Clarkson, who had 17 points, made 3 out of his 4 3-point shots. You have Hood, made 3 out of 6. Okay, 1 out of 2. I'll take 1 out of 2.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
50%. It's
LeBron.
lit.
You had LeBron, who made 2 out of 5. You had Hill, who made 2 out of 4. You had J.R. Smith, who made 3 out of 4. Come on,
No,
brother.
so
Come
one
on.
game, 2 games means. Listen, I believe in them. I think that they could easily
Kyrie,
be my third
timeout.
best team.
Kyrie Irving made 1 out of 7.
Okay, so you think was
He
that
had a
Kyrie
bad
being
game.
off? Was that
He
Kyrie
had,
being off, or were the Cavaliers the best defensive team? That's
I
what you got to
don't know,
realize. There's two
brother.
different things.
You're right, but with this newly created team, I do feel that they can become that team. I do. And you
Okay,
gotta, if you
you heard
watch
it,
the
folks.
game, if
They're
you
gonna shoot
watch
like
the
the
game,
Warriors.
If you watch listen, before they were even added to the Warriors, the Cleveland were still giving the Warriors a problem. That's why they faced us 3 years in a row. So even without these people, they were still giving the Warriors a problem. So now imagine with these good people
Kyrie
on the
Irving's
team.
gone now. He wasn't there. You were
But
not going to give him no work.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't think Kyrie Irving is even. No one even cares that Kyrie Irving left anymore. Is what I honestly think. I think
Whoa,
with
you
this
heard it,
new
folks.
team, first of all, you have Nance coming down the middle, catching rebounds, making plays. You have Clark, and these people coming from the Lakers. And remember, the Lakers recently, the newly created Lakers for this year, or 2017-2018 year, have beaten big name NBA teams. So now imagine you're taking Nance and Clarkson to the Cavaliers, and not only them, Green and I'm sorry, Hill or Hood and is it Hood
Yeah,
and
Helen
Green as
Hood.
well? Hill and Hood. You're adding these people to a team where LeBron can easily. I think he has. I think it's easily can win 3 more rings. To be honest with you,
He's basically doing
Whoa. You
what
said they just
Kyrie.
made they sent him a dynasty. That's what you're saying.
he has a who
They have
else
the
do you
perfect role
know?
players. They have
Who
the
else do
perfect
you
role
know
players.
could get away with having a whole brand new damn team in the middle of a damn season?
Well, that's only
Kyrie,
LeBron. Only.
In the
Kyrie,
middle of a season,
Ooh.
Kyrie, what are you talking
in the
about? He left
beginning
and
of a
started.
season,
Yes,
in the
I'm talking about the
beginning of
Yeah,
a
middle of a
season.
season. I'm talking about
I'm
the
just
middle.
saying they both
it's the
have
same
a
thing.
similar situation.
It's the same thing. Yeah, he was supposed to have Gordon Hayward, and he didn't.
You feel me?
Listen, things happen. Things get look. We don't have Kevin Love, but I think when Kevin Love comes back, it's going to be a bigger problem.
Okay, let's see. It's time is only going to tell. So right now, who you think's going to win the finals?
I don't know. I don't know who's going to win it. I just have a feeling of who's going to be in it playing
Who's
against
gonna
each
be
other.
in it? Who's gonna be in it?
I think for the East, it's back to the Cavs. At first, I thought it was going to be the Celtics, but I definitely think it's back to the Cavs. And for the West, I haven't decided yet because I don't feel that my team is playing well.
Yeah,
So I don't
it's
think it's
hard to
going to be
call it
them.
in the West. It's hard to call it in the West just because the Rockets are playing well. That doesn't mean they're going to shut down Warriors, San Antonio, or Minnesota, who has played everyone extremely well. I think everybody, in the regular season, when you lose a lot of these close games, people don't give you the respect that your team deserves. And I've heard people say that this team is better than their record. I when they made the trade for that blockbuster team, I said Minnesota was going to be the first team to dethrone the Warriors, and I still kind of believe it.
I'm
The
gonna put
Timberwolves do give us a problem. They do.
I'm gonna put the Celtics and the Thunder up there because how can you tell me Russell Westbrook and Paul George are gonna depend? It all comes down to matchups in the
It
playoffs.
does.
If
It
they
does.
get
Paul
It
teams where
George.
they
does.
could beat, you know,
But it
and you
also
got these
depends on a
hungry
good.
dudes. Paul George never won a title. You got Russell
I'm not.
Westbrook playing like an animal. I don't
I
know.
hope we remember this clip and come back to this moment. Russell Westbrook is gonna not make these crazy long distance shots that he's been making in the regular season. He's not gonna make them when
If he plays
teams.
correct and he plays through Paul
Okay,
George, if he plays through Paul George and gets to the rim,
we'll
that's what
see.
I'm saying right there.
But is Russell Westbrook the type of guy to want to give someone else the shine as to why they won, or is Russell
He
Westbrook the
wants to
type of
he
guy?
wants to win a
God, I
title
love this
so
woman.
bad. He
She's
wants to
epic.
he wants to win a title.
Listen, okay, but you know what?
He
I don't
wants to
think it's
put it in
gonna.
Durant's face. They have beef.
Okay, and you know what happens when people try really hard to try and put someone in someone's face? It backfires on them.
Exactly.
It
You're right.
backfires.
But what if
Exactly.
they come to the moment?
But listen to this, okay? It's not
We'll
going to
see.
happen because they don't really have a good bench. I think the the
You're
the
right. But
formula
they
to
do got
winning
Grant.
the formula to winning a team a game is a good starting lineup and a good bench because you need to be able to rest your good people, your starting lineup, and play your good people off of the bench. And that's why I
So
think
you said OKC's bench is weak.
I don't think it's that greater than other people than other teams' benches. No, I don't.
Well, I didn't
Like
know
look
about
at
this
for
guy Jeremy
example,
Grant
listen,
coming
for
into this
example, the
year.
Spurs.
He's been
Ginobili
doing
comes
well.
off the bench. Ginobili comes off the bench. And I bet and Ginobili I know has sales in his jerseys. So sometimes you just have to have that good bench along with your starting lineup and those people have to be content in coming off of the bench. Just like for the
You're
Warriors.
super right. You have to have a bought in. You have to have depth. That's one thing that a
Imagine
lot of casual
that brings
fans
us back
leave out.
that that brings us back to the Thunder when they had all those players, and if they grew together, imagine how deadly
Exact.
Harden would have been off the
Oh
bench.
my
You're right.
God.
You're right. Sometimes people leave
Oh,
prematurely, get traded prematurely. They don't want to take the
But
chance.
he
It's
doesn't
true.
regret it. He doesn't regret it. He's the man.
he's number one
He
in the
has
NBA,
he has his own shoe. You feel me? He's lit. He
and he's
has
winning the
money.
most. No team is winning more than his right now.
Now he has Chris Paul.
77% win percentage.
Facts.
I like Chris Paul. I don't really have nothing negative to say about him, other than the fact that he really had some type of vendetta against the Warriors. But every time we played him, we beat him. So now he's going to a team where you have James Harden, and you have the potential of going to the finals and maybe even beating the Warriors. But do I respect him for that? I don't know.
Well,
I respect him. He didn't want to play for Doc Rivers no more because he has
But
you
his
said
son
but
over there.
but
you
that
said you
goes back
flex
to
with
my
KD.
question.
So
But that's
why
my
would you not flex
question.
with Chris Paul?
But this is my question. This
I
is what
flex
goes
with
back
Chris
to.
Paul.
This is my question though. How long do you stay on a team that you're not going to win before you leave to another one, but then you're getting scrutinized or whatever for leaving that team? Isn't
Thank you.
couldn't you have said that the Rockets were a trader was a trading team leaving from the Clippers? Because this team was beating me every time I played against them. So whatever way you slice, dice, cut it up, whenever you leave a team for another team who's a better team than the team that you're on, you're going to always be considered the traitor, is what I feel.
Yes, you're right.
Because you
It's a
didn't
double
stick with your
standard.
team. It
It's
is.
a double standard and it's bullshit because let's keep it a buck. The players, we should respect them whatever they want to do. If you're really a fan of KD or you're
Yeah.
really a fan of Westbrook, you should want these men. These are real people. You want them to be happy. Some people, money and the fattest contract makes them happy. Some people, maybe Kyrie, wants the recognition that they
The
deserve
legacy.
on the team, the legacy. Then you got some people, they just want to win. They will do whatever it
Exactly. They don't
takes to
care. They
be on
don't
a
care.
team that's winning. Now, me personally, I think
Look at
that you should consider the integrity of the game in your decision when you're a top player in the NBA. When you're a top 5 player, I think there's a little bit of, the same way each person has everyday social responsibility, the higher the power, the more the responsibility that comes with it, right, guys? Famous words.
oh
Why
yeah.
is it that these people, if you're a top 5 player in the NBA, you got to understand how much changes with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the same people that, excused LeBron going to Miami
Not a lot of
wanna
people
wanna
excuse that. They were burning his jerseys. They were mad. It was bad for LeBron.
everybody burning his jersey lived in Cleveland. Okay. It was not a lot of people outside of Cleveland burning jerseys, but and no one, cares today that he created the first super team like that with 3 superstars on one team, best player from all these top Eastern Conference teams, and they went straight to the finals. How many years in
He
a row?
denies it. He denies it. That's why. Because he
Because he
denies
denies
doing
it.
that.
But you know what makes me thankful? All the NBA players know it, and all the journalists and the people that cover the sport for real, they know what really turned this into the super team era, and
But
and they
that's
need
what
to hold them
changed.
accountable.
The NBA has changed from, NBA
They,
has changed.
it wasn't like that before him. No one who did that before LeBron James. I'll wait.
I mean, I guess you can consider Kobe, Shaq, and who was
No,
the other
that's
one with?
management. You never had trading. That's the problem. Why we say he
Where
created the
LeBron
super
said
team.
we're gonna go over there, and then when he
Yeah, it
came
was,
back, he got rid of Wiggins for Love.
and then recreated another super team. He created 2 of them in a row, intentionally, just his actions. Now, every other team you could name in NBA history, the management. It wasn't the players. These people got traded. They traded Shaq to LA. Not Shaq didn't have no say in it. He woke up one day and he saw it on TV. Is how he said he found out. I don't know if you saw the special, but on the Orlando Magic special called This Magic Moment, ESPN, when Shaq got to the part where he got traded, he said that he found out on TV.
Horrible.
Okay, so they don't think about, no other players in NBA history had a dynasty, including the Warriors. No other team did that where the players formed a super team on their own, but LeBron James did it himself. It wasn't even a secret. He said, "Yeah, me, Bosh, and Wade got together. We've been talking, and we wanted to play together and destroy the competition in the NBA simultaneously. Good job, fellas."
I
Now
mean, I
look.
guess it's just like back in school when you're picking who you want to be on your team. They brought it back.
Yeah, they took it right back to that. They said, "Fuck all
But
this
hey, they did
the
it this. They
struggle."
did it again with the All Star too, but with its All Star teams, and it's no longer the East
Yeah.
versus the West, which super sucks because and you know what? They probably realize because there's really not that much competition in the East, and it's always going to be the West winning. But maybe
Oh,
I'm
look at the
wrong.
shade. Look
Maybe
at the
I'm wrong.
shade
Maybe I'm
over
wrong.
here.
It's
Says the
true.
It's not true. Don't let me pull up the stats on who won the last 25 All-Star games. It's way closer than you think.
Okay, so
Okay,
now if we put the East together, we would have Kyrie, John Wall, Bradley Beal,
John Wall's
Porzingis.
out. John Wall's out. So they're
Well,
I'm
John
thinking
Wall
saying
and
about
if
Porzingis are
I'm
signing.
hurt.
saying I'm saying
So they're
if they were
thinking,
in it, if it was
well,
East versus West, you would have those guys. You would have Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. So now there's more people, you know,
we'll see. I mean, well, you
but they're
lost
not going to
Isaiah
do it that way
Thomas.
anymore. They're not going to do it that way anymore.
LeBron James, Kyrie Irving. It's over. We don't even need to say more names.
But hello, it's not that over because a lot of people that LeBron picked for this year's team has gotten hurt and replaced. So in the beginning,
Well,
I'm like LeBron definitely got this game in the bag. But now after everyone's getting hurt and they're getting replaced, I'm like, okay, now it's evened out, and I'm excited for this All Star game.
now it's in favor of the West, yo, because they lost some
Mm-hmm.
big name talent. They lost
They
some big
did.
name talent. But the West did lose DeMarcus Cousins first.
They got who else?
Cousins, I think everybody else was in the East. Porzingis went down.
Yep.
John Wall went
Yep.
down. And Kevin Love went down.
Yep.
They're all stars.
So now I think it's even. Now I'm excited for All Star Weekend. Now they're at a break, so they're gonna rest. Um,
Yeah,
and I
some
think
players
that
are
the
on vacation already. Only two
The
games left tonight.
Cavaliers, yep, the Cavaliers are going to, and I'm not a Cavs fan, guys. Trust me, I am a Warriors fan, but I'm just super excited for this Cavs team that I just can't stop talking about them because I enjoy watching people make 3-point shots that are impossible and far away. It's just what I like to see.
Well, get your popcorn ready because it's gonna be one extra long run we got coming up here. I'll be right back, folks.
All right, all right. We're gonna end it, babe.
Alrighty, good, because I got work to do.
I love you.
Love you too, bye. How do I end?